with huge projects to design the Herman Miller Sayl chair. When the average person thinks about design, they think of fashion, architecture, furniture, etc. What do you think of?
Well, I think actually the average person now, when they think about design, thinks about what's in their back pocket or front pocket, and usually it's these type of things. So I think that's changed. You know, it used to be that design was defined by furniture, was defined by European furniture, and I think today there's actually, surprisingly, we're here at CES. There's actually a lot of design here, and a lot of design that everybody really truly experiences. So the areas of furniture and chairs is sort of the classic place where people experience design, but in a way it's spreading to a lot of different places.
What kind of challenges did Herman Miller present when they approached you about creating the Sayl chair?
Well, that's a very short question, very long answer.
Okay.
But let's just say, the kind of challenges on a chair is that you can't, unlike here, electronics, where everything is hidden in a box, some kind of enclosure. With a chair, everything's out there for people to see or people to feel. So there is no place to hide when you design a chair. Everything's completely, immediately apparent. And that is the challenge, creating structure, creating mechanical resolution, creating a new suspension, as we did with Sayl, and yet that is completely part of the aesthetic and the feel and the experience of the product. So that is sort of a huge challenge to bring these two things together. In my opinion, easier than doing the outside of the box, which happens a lot of the time.
Okay, there is a theory that all technology, and especially communication technology, like the job on headpiece, is inherently alienating. Do you believe that?
Well, I do think that technology and technology companies has been for a long time dehumanizing, or at least doesn't consider the human so much. So, features are added on. There's what we call feature creep, which is, it's more about the technology than the user in the end. But the real work of the designer is to remove as much as possible until you can't remove anything, until you're at the essence of the experience. The experience is as simple, as straightforward as possible. So in a way, that kind of work is just starting to happen in technology, because it used to be really engineering driven and features driven, and now it's becoming more experience driven. And so when we do that better as designers and as tech companies, we're going to be much more humanizing in the kinds of designs that we produce.
Do you see any conflict in the corporate world of advertising and the more personally expressive world of design?
Well, I think in so many ways, the corporate world used to express itself almost solely through advertising, because that was sort of the main way that essentially you could have any kind of relationship with your customers. I mean, that's how you could broadcast a message. But now, in the internet and social revolution world that we live in, those relationships are direct. I think about something, I tell you what I think about this product, you tell the company back. I mean, it's so immediate. And so you can't really rely on big, overarching, singular, advertising messages to create what people want today, which is information, transparency, and personal involvement and participation. You can't do that anymore. And so design is really the way by which you create a relationship, the way you get good reviews, the way you get good comments, the way you get people to give the right kind of feedback about the kind of business, the kind of companies that you're trying to create. So I think design will be a more important tool. It is becoming a much more important tool in all communication, and probably a more important tool than advertising.
Well, out of all the work you've done, what is it that you are most proud of?
Well, that's, it's sort of like saying which one of your kids is your favorite,
right.
Which is impossible.
Okay,
but
maybe
the things I'm like working on right now, the Sayl chair, the Jambox, the Jawbone, the $100 laptop, these are like deeply satisfying, fun, game-changing kind of projects. So that's what I love to do.
Well, we at Smart Furniture are huge fans of you and your work.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
We love that you're trying to change the world of design with innovation and innovative thinking.
Well, you're very welcome. My main pleasure is seeing people get smarter and utilize what I do with a smile on their face. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.